Hello and thank you for joining us on the Monday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Benga Oreshagun. Today on the program, Atiku vows to run for 2027 presidency as ADC struggles over Atiku and Obi's indecision. Governor Abdulrazak of Kwara State leads security heads to Kaima local government area, promises prompt military onslaught against armed banditry in the state. And later on the show, Lagos to tackle open defecation with 10,000 public toilets. Well, I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and a returning Shola Ojeusi. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Okay, before we go into the conversation, Shola Ojeusi, it's so good to have you back on Journalist Hangout. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's great. And I mean, the ambience, the great place I'm in now, I'm just wowed. So I have to congratulate the TVC organization.
Absolutely.
For this beauty. I mean, it's a great step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
I'm really impressed by the improvements, the ambience, the beauty of the environment. Is enough to inspire you to give the best.
Exactly.
So kudos.
Exactly.
And more grace to your elbows.
It's so nice to have you here. Okay, BK, you want to quickly add something?
It's a good thing to see a man that I share the same complexion with on the show. It's not been on the program for a long time. So it's a happy feeling to see him back.
Exactly.
Where he belongs.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thanks so much.
All right, gentlemen, let's quickly move straight to our first conversation. Now, one lasting trait about an old war horse is that it is never battle weary. So it seems for a former vice president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar. After several shots at the presidency, Atiku said he will be in the fray again. Atiku has assured his followers of running for the presidency in 2027 because Nigeria needs to be saved from the hardship under President Bola Tinubu's administration. The former vice president vowed that despite efforts by the ruling All Progressives Congress APC to ridicule and play down the current momentum in the African Democratic Congress ADC, the coalition will shock the world in the 2027 presidential election. Okay, BK, the former vice president, remember, he has tried 5 different times without success. Now he has vowed to run again in 2027. What impact do you think this will have, in the polity?
Well, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar reserves the right to contest as many times as he wants to. If his political party gives him the ticket to be their standard bearer, who am I or who are you to say, no, Atiku, you cannot contest?
Exactly.
By the time of the next election, Atiku will have clocked 80 years. But as far as he's concerned, he is the Abraham Lincoln of Nigerian politics. Abraham Lincoln contested so many times.
Exactly.
And ultimately became president. So Atiku is convinced that he will become president of Nigeria someday. He said, let me quote what he says, I will run in 2027. Nigeria needs to be rescued from the intensive care units it has been consigned. I will be offering myself to lead the reclamation and reconstruction of our traumatized homeland. So this is Atiku, and he vowed to keep contesting as long as he's held, as long as he remains hale and healthy. God has blessed him with good health. That's why he can find the energy to play politics at the highest level.
Exactly.
It's not easy to play politics at the highest level. You have to be ready to stay awake when others are in dreamland. So Atiku is confident that he will be the he will be the next president of our country. And he also thinks that the ADC is capable of causing an upset. In fact, he said ADC is leading a potent mass movement which will shock the world. We will upstage the status quo in a way that will leave doubters dumbstruck. I like his level of optimism. Politicians are an extremely optimistic lot, and Atiku is very optimistic. I've said repeatedly that no one should write off the ADC.
True.
As a watcher of politics in our country, I will not write off the ADC. I'm not going to say they cannot win the election. You know, let's continue to watch events as journalists and see where the pendulum of victory in the presidential election in 2027 will swing.
All right, Shola Ojewusi, the former vice president, he will be 80, you know, in 2027. But how do you think he plans to convince Nigerians that he represents change and fresh ideas?
Well, like Biko said, he's a grand optimist, and we have to commend him for that. It's his right to be president. He has been there like Abraham Lincoln. But there is something, if you consider the age Abraham Lincoln contested, there's a difference. I don't think Abraham Lincoln was approaching 80 and he still wanted to go on.
Some will say age is just a number.
Well, age is just a number. But sometimes when you look at the rigors, you know, we only see the polished image in the public, but we don't see what goes on behind closed doors. So what I would just plead, Alhaji Atiku is a patriot. I mean, he has shown that. He's a patriot. Somebody who is so dogged about contesting for president. He has that element of patriotism in him that we admire. But when the chips come, to the level of the future of the country, there are times when he has to be alone and ask himself, is it really worth it? Am I going to be able to give my best? Considering the rigors, the exigencies, there are a lot of things going on when you become the president of Nigeria. It's quite different, even much more different than being the vice president of Nigeria. Age is important. We may not like it, but it is very important. And he has to look beyond mere ambition to see patriotism as a very important factor. If he feels that there is something, because we may not see it until when he now gets there and a lot of things start coming up, start showing their, rearing their heads. So I will plead with patriot Atiku Abubakar to think twice of the age element and convince us that he really, really feels he's capable of doing this. And also, there is a groundswell of opinion among young Nigerians that, we're looking at creating a new momentum, a new day in our body politics, in the way we contest elections. Are we really, really interested in bringing another old, like they said, quote, please forgive me, old cargo into Aso Rock? Are we going to have the same things? Will the momentum be different? We are going beyond the age-old ways of doing things to a technologically advanced system. It doesn't have the wherewithal. It's not, it's no rocket science. Does it really have it? That's what young Nigerians will be thinking. And a lot of things will have to come to play when it gets to 2027. Beyond age, it has to be, a lot of factors will have to be put into consideration.
Yes. Mikhail, he says this time that the ADC will get it right and they will send the APC packing. But he's yet to register for the ADC. What does this portray here?
Well, I guess it's he and since the ADC was officially announced as the major vehicle that the opposition intends to use to take power from the ruling APC on March 20th. We've not seen the kind of traction. The party has not gained the kind of traction that many people will have expected it to gain. And it is because a lot of people who should join are in two minds, whether to join or to remain where they are, whether to watch the situation and allow events to pan out properly before taking the plunge. Atiku Abubakar is one of such people. There are many of them who are even in APC today, but are thinking, asking themselves, shouldn't I just go to ADC? So, but they are reluctant to take that plunge. They are vacillating. And that the fact that they are vacillating is not helping the party. Because when people see big shots move into a party, it can have a kind of bandwagon effect. Everybody begins to talk about that party. Other parties become in the reckoning of many people like, no, they are inferior because people are moving into a new special purpose vehicle.
Okay.
Or vehicle, as some people pronounce it. APC was in this situation in 2013, 14, and 15. The more people saw big shots move into the APC, the more reassured they became that this party could win the next election. So that momentum is very important in politics. So after March 20, the kind of momentum that people wanted to see or expected to see, they've not seen it. And if an Atiku or Obi is reluctant to go and join the ADC, pick the party membership card to show to the people that, look, this is where we are, then others will simply sit on the fence.
All right, BK, just hold that thought, okay? We have Ade calling in from London. Ade, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. My brother is here with me and the prince.
I greet you, sir.
I said about ABC. But to me, I don't think ABC will fly. And why that is so? If I imagine now that they are having this agreement, I make you expose factory that they are both part of the sponsor of ABC. So that means that they will be backing ABC. So within this ABC, I don't see them flying at all. But PDP and APC, those are the people that I think maybe probably Labour will come in and sort out their problem. But that's my own position, though. APC can't fly. It's already there's agreement between them. All
right, thank you. Thank you so much.
And don't forget, they still have internal problems that they are dealing with. A party that was announced to us as the face of the opposition has internal crisis. There is contestation for the national chairman of the party. Both two men are laying claim to that position. There are other people too, including their former, their presidential candidate the last election. You know, he too says no. Certain things have been done. This is an illegal leadership of the party. This is a leadership that hijacked control of the party.
Came from the back door.
Yes, and in the middle of this, INEC has not come out to recognize the David Mark-led leadership of the party. So all of these realities are making it difficult for people to decide whether it is worth their while to take a plunge, to join this party. So if the leading lights of the party, if they are find it difficult to take that bold decision, then what are we talking about? Peter Obi suspects that he will not get the presidential ticket of this party. So he's hedging his bet. Maybe I should just remain in the Labour Party. Because ultimately, his own faction of the party could be the faction that gets recognized and allowed to field candidates in the next election and allowed to contest the presidential election. So he's looking at that so that he doesn't end up losing both ways. So he's a smart Igbo man.
I mean, Atiku and Peter will be delaying, you know. But what impact would this have on the strategy of the ADC?
I think it's a problem for them.
A big problem?
A big problem. One, there is a Yoruba proverb. I mean, the eye or the eyes that will follow us to our old age will not start showing signs of, I mean, dimness while you are still young. Look at the last election, the by-elections. Personally, because of the momentum, the noise, the razzmatazz that came, ADC this, ADC that, I was thinking that that election will be used as a platform to show that, yes, we really want to take Asura from somebody who is just watching quietly and strategizing underneath and working his ways back in 2027. I didn't see that in that last election.
Okay, just hold that thought, yes. Okay? Yes. Apologies. Essay calling in from Lagos. Essay, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. Babajide, you folks are doing a great job there.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I just really want to share my views about what the former vice president said. Mr. Babajide has already said once that the man is right, has his own right to contest to be a president as far as the Constitution permits him as a citizen of this country.
Yes.
And just the same thing with Peter Obi and the rest of the other folks who are sitting there. But what I really want us to know is Nigeria is no more to be fooled around right now. One, we're going to look at the values. What are they bringing? What is new? This article was there since Atiku has been in power since 1999. Up to date. Think of the hierarchy of the ADC right now. Mark, when I was in class 4 in secondary school, today I'm 56. When Mark was the governor of Niger State, look at El-Rufai. The son was in secondary school when El-Rufai was the FCT minister. He's in the House of Rep. Look at Ameki. Look at these guys. They are just there. What was the economy? I'm not saying.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Valid questions raised there, but I need you to end on your phone.
What I'm saying is, you need to show that you really have the platform. Honestly, I still don't see that ADC as a strong platform because there seems to be a lot of policy flip-flop. The leading lights of the party, is it that today we hear them saying they're not desperate to be president?
Okay.
Tomorrow they will tell them, no, they are going to do it. So it's confusing for whoever wants to follow them. There has to be a kind of policy direction that we see from them. You need to tell us what you are bringing differently to the table to convince me that I have to leave, I mean, what I've seen to what I've not seen, from certainty to uncertainty. That's one major problem they need to sort out. The last by-election does not do well to the optics of whatever they want to do to convince Nigeria. And they need to do a lot of, I mean, self-reassessment. The leading lights of the party, is it Atiku, is it, I don't even know whether they are there now because they're just promoting this ADC without being official member. So whatever they are saying is illegal.
Why are they afraid to go in?
Let them come out.
With their free chest.
You know, I would like to say this to Atiku because it seems to be, in terms of national spread, it seems to be the leading light. He's starting the game the way he did it the last time, on certain footing. And I don't see that being, I mean, auguring well for whatever ambition he has. If he really wants to match Abraham Lincoln, then this is about the time he should show that he really wants to do. Absolutely. But I'm not impressed, I'm not convinced about this flip-flop, about ideology, about even knowing your platform.
All right.
There is no platform.
All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. Now, as far as insecurity is concerned, it is like Kwara, like Kogi State. As such, Governor Abdurrahim Abdurrazak of Kwara State and top military and intelligence heads have conducted an on-the-spot assessment of insecurity in Kaima local government area where alleged terrorist group Mahmouda has held sway. Governor Abdulrazak and the delegation were in the area to assess security concerns and reinforce inter-agency collaboration across border communities. Governor Abdulrazak promised prompt military onslaught against armed banditry in the state. Now let's share the story by TVC News' Ibrahim Alege.
Babanla community in the Ifelodun local government area of Kwara State was recently attacked by some armed criminals. There have been reports of kidnapping and violent attacks in nearby communities, forcing some residents to flee their homes. These incidents have triggered agitations from the people of Kwara South for improved security measures.
Our plea to the government is that they should reinforce our district, Senatorial District, that's Kwara South Senatorial District, with heavily armed police force or military personnel that will be stationed in our local community.
That forest, I think, is even more than Sambisa Forest. That's their hideout. And from there, they spread to the local government, they spread to Paji local government, they spread to other, even Okero local government, and other states too, Kogi State. So they should help us flush them.
The government is not resting on its oars. Security operatives have been mobilized for both ground and area offensives. During a visit to Babanla and surrounding communities alongside security chiefs, Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak assured residents that their safety remains a top priority.
Surely they'll be stamped out of this area. I do understand the vastness of the terrain and the forest here and the challenges it possesses. But from the boots on ground, the logistics being put in place, this will be a thing of the past sooner, very soon and very shortly. We've ordered Kwasip to move in immediately and enumerate those that are in need of support. And very soon, they will get those support as early as next week.
It is our strong belief that putting this wide expansive of land into use will not only boost the economies of the state alone, provided a massive employment, but also help flush out and deny the bandits of the hiding places.
With the assurance coming from the governor and security operatives, the people of Babanla and other affected communities can now heave a sigh of relief and hope that such an attack doesn't occur again. Ibrahim Alige, TVC News, Babanla, Kwara State.
All right, thank you so much, Ibrahim Alige. Biko, now that the governor has visited Kaima local government area and promises have been made, the question is, what next? Military onslaught straight away?
No, we need not just to improve military presence, police presence in the focal local governments. We need to encourage motorized patrols on those highways connecting two states together. The highways connecting Kogi and Kwara together, especially Kwara South, talking about Egbe. The whole of Yagba West and places like Oboile, Oboayegunle, Isanlu-Isen, the people continue to come under attack from bandits. The highways are no longer safe. People get picked up and marched into the bush by these bandits. And that's why I said motorized patrols will help, because when they know that the armed forces are policing the highway, they are moving along the highway, they know that their rights to operate unhindered has been taken away. This is what we do not do as well as we used to do it in the past. We need motorized patrols. Yes, we can have checkpoints here and there, but where checkpoints are far apart, the solution is motorized patrol, in my view. So the forests that they were talking about, uninhabited forests in that story, the Felodun local government area is one of the biggest local governments in Kwara State, one of the top 3 in terms of land mass. And these bandits are found in its forests, some form of habitation, and an opportunity to launch attacks on our people. The people of Kwara South really need help. It's not Babanla alone.
Okay.
We can send troops to Babanla, but it may not necessarily solve the problem because these guys are active in other areas. From the Kanji Lake National Park, the very extensive Kanji Lake National Park, they move into Kwara State, move into Barutin, you know, along the border with Benin Republic. They move into those areas, and that's where the Mahmudawas are operating without let. You can imagine in the old Bogu local government, you know, Bogu used to be part of Kwara.
Okay.
In that whole area, very extensive, very, very big. They moved into Kwara State. They are now determining when people can fell trees.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they collect tax from people. That's what the Mahmudawas are doing. And these are people, it's like an offshoot of Boko Haram that has now assumed a kind of, turned that place to its own fiefdom, where they can harass our people without let.
All right, BK, we need to go on this quick break. And when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere. Still Journalist Hangout.